Alright, hello everyone. We are going to demonstrate the design of the doll table. This is a little bit a challenging one because it has a lot of circles and a lot of dimensions and it might not make sense. So if we look at it, this is the isometric view. So that we have something like a different shape with different circles. And this is the bottom view. So these are like the four elements of the table in here. They have a diameter of 7.5. We have in here, like this is a top view. We have like two pockets. You can see them in here. One that is circular, one that is square. And like we have an 8 by 8 dimension and so on. So the challenge is going to be to find out a way to create this. And this is what we're going to try to do. And the only way we're going to be capable of doing it is by putting constraints and looking in here into the dimensions. Actually, this looks like the center of this arc is at 16.9, so this is a certain point we can fix in here. The center of this one is at 19.15, so we do have some advantages. So let's go ahead and start working on this. Mechanical design, port design, RTRH, and doll table B01. You can rename the doll table whatever you want. Let's go ahead and save this. It's safer to actually do that, and um, and so on. So let's start with a sketch, and this is the sketch we're gonna select. We're gonna go on the XY plane. So we are going to do what we have in here is 57.17. So let me create. So I'm looking at this as a dimension, and we have this circle of radius 3.75, which is going to continue here. So actually you can see that it's the bottom that continues on the other side. This one is located at the center at 43.3. So actually in this dimension at 57 point. So actually the maximum in here looks like to be 43.3 plus 3.75 plus 3.75. So we can actually create some axes. Let's go ahead and create some of these reference elements. I am going to create, so you can create an axis or you can create a construction line. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to create one that is vertical, and we are going to say that this one is actually located at 57.15. So this gives me a certain dimension that, like we can take from this one. So the length of this construction element is not important, but if we want to go ahead and um, actually it would be nice to center that somehow. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this as at 100, and we are going to center it at this location like this. We know that this is the 57.15. This is where it's going to end, and we know that it's going to be circle from here. So now looking into the circle has that is tangent to this one. So actually there is a funny way. Let's go ahead and do it. We can actually put the circle here. So definitely the circle is not a, and then we can say that this circle has a tangency with this one. So we bring it all the way to that point. Now this circle has a diameter. The diameter is of, I see the radius of 3.75, so we can just select radius and put 3.75. And then the center point of that circle, let's see if there's any dimension that tells us where it is. There is a 43.13 dimension, which means that from here till the vertical is gonna be to this one, it's going to be 43.3 divided by 2. So that's the beauty. If you don't want to be doing calculations, you can actually do that and it will automatically take it. So that positions our circle in the right location. What we can do is create a mirror with respect to the circle to the other side. From time to time verify you are under constraint, you are over constraint. So it's these 2 points Let's see if we have them as construction element. So this is a bit confusing. Do we even need, oops, we don't want to be doing that. Let's see once again. So I mean these points are not really important, so I'm gonna just put a fix on them. Do we need the point? Only one of them will fix the other. Okay, so it's not liking this. I'm gonna, we don't really need all of this anyways, so we can actually delete this whole line and actually create a line now here. Let's create all these tangencies as long as we're doing it, and we do it to this point. And let's make sure that this one from here to here, sorry, the other one, is equal to our famous 57.15, and let's make sure that this one and this one, they are tangent, so that um, like this constraint is done. All right, this makes it a bit better, and we have it iso constraint, so in case your dimension changes, this will change with it. Now we do have a circle, and that circle is in the middle, has a radius of 6.25. It's an arc, so I'm gonna go ahead and create a circle for now. The center of that circle is at 19.15, so I'm gonna click here, go ahead and just do it, create the circle. Then I'm gonna say from here to here we have the dimension of 19.15. Then we're going to put the dimension of the circle, the radius, and scrolling back here, the radius is 6.25. All right, so this gives us this circle, 6.25. We are going to create another circle of radius. So there is another circle, and this circle actually touches on this one. It's not really tangent, so we don't want to confuse it. It just touches on this one. Okay, so let's just okay, this is gonna confuse it. So I'm gonna create the circle like this for now, and I'm gonna put the radius for this circle, which is 6.53, and then I am going to put the location of the center, which is the dimension. We can see it from the front view. It is at 16.19. So let's go ahead and create that and put the dimension as 16.9 actually. All right, now this is the right dimension. Okay, so it is white, which means something can move. I'm gonna basically, just for me to know what's going on, I can easily hold this and move it around. Okay, it seems I can move it around very easily. This means that it's not steady. So let's see a little bit. What is it that, which dimension we have? All right, you know what? Let's go ahead and try to create the last one. Okay, I see which dimension is useful. It is the 40. So actually it is 20.5. All right, so this circle, actually if I had created it as an arc, this arc would be at the point in here that is 20.5. So this is the dimension. This is the dimension I'm looking at, this 20.5. So this one and this one, we use them for the center, and basically this one is the location that stops at this point. So this is 20.5. So this is very, very useful. We can try to do that in different ways, but actually let's do it in the right way. So I'm gonna move this now. This is not the right location. I'm going to create a horizontal line in here, and this horizontal line, we're going to put it at this location. And yeah, we have to make sure that this is active, and clicking the horizontal line, and then I'm gonna put it at a distance from here. What was the value we said? 20.5. So I know that that portion of the circle is only the one that is at the top. So I can be creating, I can actually do this quick trim and remove that portion. So this gives me that circle. And now this circle, this one, it's moving along all of this, but this one we like this point will be on that circle. So actually we can create here and put coincidence, and this will put it at this location. And this actually, this line, we can elongate it a little bit. Actually, this line can quick trim also the other one. All right, I think we think we got it. That's good. So we can trim this. Now that's perfect. So we have this one. It doesn't move anymore. It's the right location. It does have the right radius, 6.53. And now we are left with the last arc. And the last arc goes from this point to this point. It has a tangency. Let's see if this one is just a corner. Yeah, it looks like this is a corner that continues with tangency. So I'm looking at all the dimensions to see what we've used, what we've not used. We've used the 57 point, so I'm looking at the bottom view. We've used, okay, so what we did not use is the 40. So from here to here. I'm not sure if this is a dimension anymore, because we've used like we've constructed it, like let's verify it. So from here to here, it should be 40. So you can use this measuring element, and we can measure between this point to this point. Let's see. Well, it's 40.152. So what did we mess up? So is this a little bit longer? Is this, let's see a little bit. What can be the issue? All right. So this circle, this 20.5 is the center for this one. I've used it the right way. This, actually, what is this 20.5? This is to this point. Did we use the 20.5 somewhere? Yep, we used it because we created this one. Okay, that's not an issue. So that's good. The 19.15, that's the center for this one, and the 16.9, the center for this one. So the 19.15 is the center for this one, and we trimmed it with this. That does look perfectly right. Oh, what is the diameter here? 6.25. Okay, so it seems we got everything right. This dimension, the 40 and the 40.152, where does this come from? All right, let's zoom back here and try to make sense together of this. So looking at this 40, it's going from here to here. Oh, all right. This is to this point. So from this point to this point, logic says we're gonna have 17.15. So from here to this point. So if we have, let's see the other dimension for a second. So we're going from this point. So from this line to this point. Okay, so this dimension should have been, if this is 40 and this is 57, this one should have been 17. So where is this coming from? Once again, let's take a look at it and think of it together. All right, let's see once again, what did we miss? The 57.15 is from the center to the line that goes to tangency. I'm wondering if this line is not tangent to this. I am wondering if, like, I see a little here, so I'm wondering if that is, like, actually we are going a little bit bigger than this, or this is a visual issue. All right, let's go ahead and test this one up by opening the file. I'm going to click cancel for a second, save, and I am going to open my archive, and this is tutorial 5. exercises from tutorial 5, and the dole table. Let's go ahead and see what is it that we have. So this is the main plate, so we have tangency. This is 40, that is correct. All right, let's go ahead and compare and see where we could have messed up something. So let's see the dimensions that we have. This is the center, we got this right at 16.9. The center at 19.15, we got this right. The radius and radius, we got them right. This radius of 100 and tangent, we got it right. So basically it still doesn't unsolve the mystery. This is 57.15 and we 57.15 all the way to this one. This is tangent and this radius is 3.75, 3.75. Very, very puzzling. I am going to apply the measurement here from this point to this point. Yep, it does show 40. And on this one here, the measurement from this point to this point, from this measurement, from this point to this point, 40.152. I still can't see where this is coming from. This one is at 20.5. Oh, was this a misleading dimension? This is at 20.5. This is at 20.5. This point is here. Okay, let's do them one by one. This point 19.15, this point 19.15, this radius 6.25, very good. This point 16.15, port 9, this is 16.9 here, radius 6.53, radius 6.53. This line is at 20.5, so this point is at 20.5, this is 20.5, and let me go ahead and on the original drawing create a line through all of these and see if this line is okay. This is where it is. It's not fully symmetrical. This is where it is. That's the difference. So so this is something that was not clear on the drawing, and on the drawing, like, it did not say that you have this interaction at a different point, and the drawing actually misled me to think that they are intersecting at the point. So this is where this point 15, this is where this small dimension came from. All right, now that we've resolved it and this is fine, let's go ahead and continue doing it the way that I've been doing it in here. So as if I did not have the original part, and as if I did not have the original part, and there is no way that you can tell from here that these are not at the same dimension, that this is a little bit going lower. Let me confirm that. 1, 2, 3, we've taken into account into all these dimensions. Let's see here. There is nothing here, and there is nothing more here. Okay, so this is a good live demonstration of what can happen. And now that we know that this is fine, what we have, we can go ahead and create the last arc. The last arc will be something, all right, somewhere here. How much is the radius? Let's take a look at it once again. The radius is, I cannot find the radius. Where are you? And Oh, it's on the left. So if you go on the bottom view and you see at the left, it's a radius of 100. So it's a radius from 100, and we're gonna go. So somewhere here, the center, we're going to go from with this arc. So let's remove construction element, and we're gonna have some tangency going, and it's going to connect to this point. So I'm gonna just put randomly here a point, and then we're gonna say this one and this one, there is a coincidence, so that is good. And then the tangency in here, the coincidence in here, and then we are going to put the dimension radius of 100. Hopefully that will be okay. Here we go, that's perfect. Some quick trim on this circle here, and we got this right. So instead of us redoing all of this, I am going to create a construction. I'm going to create a quarter, and then we're going to flip all of this. So I'm creating a construction element here and the one in here, and we're going to delete this one. Oops, what did I do? I wanted to delete just this one. So I'm going to quick trim this. I hope it takes it from here. And I'm going to quick trim this from this side. To be on the safe side, in case I did not make anything construction element, I'm going to make everything as construction element. Then I'm going to select just my sequence of curves and remove them. Then I wish I did not click somewhere else, because I could have just directly created the mirror, the first mirror here, and with respect to this axis, and then I can click. So let me demonstrate this filter. So this one actually would select all curves. So I can click all these curves. We don't need this one, we don't need that one, we don't need this one, and we can actually create another mirror, and this time for with respect to the axis in here. So what did I select? I should not, I don't know. So let's go ahead and select. So this is very important that I try to do the tutorial like this live and with the thinking process, because this is important for you to actually understand not only how you realize this, but also what is the thinking process. All right, now we have this. Hopefully we did not mess anything up, and if we did, it will show us in a few seconds, because we need to pad this. And if we have any open profile, what is the dimension in here we have is 6.35. All right, perfect. This is the heart of the work. Everything else from here is going to be very easy. It's not going to even take us a couple of minutes. So let's go ahead and create the pockets at the top. So I'm going to open the sketch, and in here I'm going to demonstrate a cool feature. What I'm going to do is something called multi-pocket. So first of all, let's go ahead and click a centered rectangle at the center. So it's our 8 by 8 square. So I'm going to put 8, 8, and this is what we have. And the next thing we have is this diameter of 15 circle. So we're going to select that, do this, come to the center, and I'm clicking on tab. So if diameter is of 15, the radius is of 7.5. All right, so like you see how we are creating very quickly iso constraint sketch. So this is a funny pocket. You see it in here. This is a pocket where the circle goes to somewhere here 3, and then the square goes all the way till the end. So what we can do is come here, click here, and select the multi-pocket. Like this, we don't have to create 7 sketches. We can do everything at the same time. And then you select this one. So this is the square. This is all the way till the end. So you can put more in here, and the thickness, value, the depths, we can put it, I don't know, this is the overall thing. This is 6.35, so we can do all of it. And then this one, the circle, is only going down for 3. So if we click a preview, look at how cool this feature it is. You did not have to create 2 sketches. You created 1 sketch, but you did a multi-pocket. All right, looking into the dimensions, this looks like the only thing that we still have to do is those the table legs, and these table legs, they look like at 25.4 from the bottom, and they are for these four circles. So let's go ahead and pick the bottom from here and click sketch. And this sketch I'm going to actually, I want to demonstrate another feature, cool feature like this. You would be learning different features at the same time. I'm gonna project this, bring it to me, make this as a construction element, and click a circle. And of course, I don't want this tangency. So this is what I don't like when we have automatic constraints. It always creates things for me that I don't want. And now what I want is this one and this one. So let's make sure that we have the right radius. What was the radius for the corner? 3.75. So this one is 3.75. And then this one and this one, we're gonna fix it with respect to this one by saying concentricity. Yep, you have to remember to reactivate them and click OK. So this fixes it. So that's cool. I'm gonna go to click the isometric view. So we have our table, our top, and we have the sketch that is located in here, and we are going to pad the sketch, and the dimension was of 25.4 millimeters. So that's an inch. All right, this is really a dull table. All right, cool. So just to demonstrate something, this is a feature, and what we can do is actually try to use patterns, or even better than that. Um, okay, so let me demonstrate something else, because I did close the toolbar when I didn't want to. So I'm gonna reset it. Um, I should have saved before I do that. Hopefully it does not crash. It didn't crash, but you know what? I'm not taking any risks. I'm gonna click File, Save, and then go back, click Customize, Toolbar, Restore All Contents, Restore Position. And so my goal is to demonstrate these features. So I'm gonna click on a mirror, and we're gonna mirror this pad, and we're gonna mirror it with respect to this plane here. And look at what we have it. So preview, ta-da! So I mean, this helps us instead of recreating everything. And what you can do is then select both of these things, mirror. Okay, so it doesn't like the fact that I'm mirroring two at the same time. So actually what you can do is also play around with patterns, and I can demonstrate that later, but basically you can take a feature. So I'll show you that in a second, but let me finish this up. I'm gonna mirror this with respect to that plane, and finally let's mirror this with respect to this plane. And did I pick the right plane? I did not. Where is it? Okay, I picked the wrong plane, so I'm gonna delete that. I don't know what I picked. So let's mirror this, and we have to mirror it with respect to this plane. Object to mirror, pad 1. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, so this is funny. It has picked pad 1. We don't want pad 1, we want pad 2. So this is what, and we're gonna remove pad 1 and preview. And it doesn't like it. So what is it that we're doing? So looking into this again, this is mirror 1, this is mirror 2. Oh, we can actually mirror with respect to the center. So we can actually, okay, so for some reason it's not liking to mirror from mirror. I'm gonna try it one more time. Okay, the selective corner, so transform. Okay, good. Cancel. So we don't want, she doesn't want to do that. So what we can do is mirror with respect to a plane in here, or with respect to a point. Let's see if we do it with respect to a point. I'm gonna create the point 0, 0, 0, and then we are going to mirror. I'm gonna take the original pad and with respect to this point. It doesn't like it. No problem. We will create a plane, and we'll create a plane that has a through a point and angle. Where do we see that? So we can also try to create a plane knowing the equation of the plane. So if we're doing a plane that has an angle of 45 in here, this plane will have its normal along this orientation. The normal along this orientation will be 110, and preview. So actually we want it to be the other way around. So let's try a -1 here. Yep, perfect. And we don't want D to be anywhere. We want it to pass by the XYZ. Okay, good. All right, this is fun. I'm going to hide these. So I'm using this to demonstrate some other features. Now, I don't like when reference elements are within the part body, especially when you have to do Boolean operations. So let's make sure that we do it the right way, and we create a geometrical set, and that we move these elements to the geometrical set, just so that, well, you don't want to move. I can move you by force. Control cut, control paste, and for some reason it's not accepting my drag and drop, so I can just do that. So I like to always put reference elements on the side, because at some point you're going to be doing Boolean operations and you don't want that, but we have to reactivate this. And the final step, once again, of course, you don't have to do all of this like this, but I'm just demonstrating the padding and the mirror and the different functions. We could have as simple as within the sketch created the 4 circles. I mean, we could have just clicked this one and clicked mirror and had the circles everywhere, or the pattern. But this is really just to demonstrate different features, and the mirror and pad 2, and with respect to this plane. And that is, oh, it is not a square, this is fun. This is not a square. So to wrap it up, even though like this is not the right way to do it, to wrap it up, let's go ahead and do what we just said, which is to mirror with respect to this, and then select this one, and mirror with respect to this, and then close, and then delete the other mirror elements. So I'm gonna show you something, and this is why one of my students failed the official certification. Although you don't see it, you have created double volume with those mirrors in here. So like if you come right now and apply material, so let's go ahead and apply aluminum for this, and you come try to see, so in the exam they would ask you like what is the weight, and you come and you click here and you select this element, and you see that the mass is 0.104 kilograms. The problem is it's taking into account these mirrors that you don't see visually, but they have been created. So you better delete those because you don't need them, and then take a look at the weight once again and make sure that you have this into account. All right, cool. So this is a little bit the functionality that we have. This is the design. So enjoy making this design and going through the mental process, just like how I was doing it. Just don't do it at 2 a.m. like I'm doing it right now. All right. Thank you so much for listening to me. Bye-bye.